The question is to find out the government tax revenue when government is imposing per unit tax on the monopolist. The question is, a monopolist is facing a demand function Q is equal to 100 times P to the power minus 0.5, where Q and P are the quantity and prices respectively. The marginal cost of production is constant at $10. Government is imposing a tax of $10 per unit of production to this monopolist. We need to find out the total tax revenue earned by the government. The answer should be rounded off to 2 decimal places. Okay. So we are being given the demand function is Q is equal to 100. Okay. P to the power 0.5 can be written as P to the power positive 0.5. Okay. If I transpose this term to denominator, exponent sign gets changed, or we can write it in this fashion, that is P to the power 0.5 is equal to 100 upon Q, or P will be equal to, so if I transpose this 0.5 here, it will become square because it is actually under root P is equal to 100 upon Q, which gives us P will be equal to 100 upon Q. If I transpose it, it will get reciprocated, the exponent. Okay, it will become square here. That means it becomes 100 into 100 is 10,000 divided by Q square. Okay, this is our demand function. Also, we are being told that marginal cost of production is $10 and government is imposing a tax of $10 per unit. Okay, we need to calculate the tax revenue. What will be the tax revenue? We got the inverse demand function. Second, we need to find out the profit. What is profit? Profit is simply total revenue minus total cost. And here, what is total revenue? Price into output. Okay, minus what will be the total cost? Here total cost will be equal to, or let me write it here. Okay, let me write it here. Total cost will be equal to the marginal cost times quantity plus tax rate times quantity. Okay, so this gives us marginal cost times output. That means the cost of producing extra units of quantity, that is MC, times quantity plus, since tax rate is $10 per unit, so we have written it here $10 per unit. That means 10 times Q. That gives us, so this is here marginal cost is 10, so we have 10 Q plus per unit tax is 10 Q. That means our total cost will be equal to 20 Q. Okay, so in place of total cost, I can write 20 Q. We are being given inverse demand function is this 100, rather it is 1000 divided by Q square times we have Q minus 20Q. This is our profit. This will be our total profit. Here, okay, it is 10,000 here, 10,000 here. 1Q gets cancelled. We are left with our profit will be equal to 100,000, 10,000 divided by Q minus 20Q. This is our profit function. Okay. Here we don't require to find out the marginal profit or any other stuff. Just visualize this profit function. You can see here, as this Q gets smaller, when Q gets smaller and smaller, profit gets larger. That means when Q, there is negative relationship here. You can see when Q is less, profit will be high. When Q is high, profit will be less. Okay, the endeavor of the monopolist is always to maximize the profit. So, and when will be the maximum profit? Obviously, when this Q tends to 0. As Q approaches to 0, okay, our profit will be maximum. Okay, obviously. That means if this Q approaches to 0, it automatically means this Q should also approach to 0. then the profit will be maximum. There is negative relationship between quantity in the first term, uh, inverse relationship, or rather, if Q decreases, profit will increase. Okay. So when Q gets smaller and smaller, that means when Q gets closer and closer to zero, profit will be maximizer. And let me explain it if you are getting, confused. So given this profit function, let me write it here. Profit is equal to 1s, 10s, 100,000, 10,000 divided by Q minus 20Q. Okay, this will be our profit function. Let's take the value here. Let us say when Q is equal to, let us say 2. When Q is equal to 2, what will be the profit? Profit will be equal to, so we have 10,000 divided by 2 minus, you can take any value, I am just taking 2 here. So 20 into 2. So 10,000 upon 2 is 5,000 minus 20 into 2 is 40. So this comes out to be 4,960. Okay, this will be the profit when Q is equal to 2. Let us decrease the quantity. Let us say when Q is equal to 1, what will be the profit? So profit will be equal to 10,000 divided by 1 minus 20 into 1. So we have 10,000 minus 20. So this comes out to be 9,980. Okay. Let us say Q is equal to 1 upon 4. Okay, 1/4. What will be the profit? Profit will be equal to 10,000 divided by 1 upon 4 minus 20 into 1 upon 4. So this will come out to be, this 4 will go to numerator, so it will become 40,000. 1s, 10s, 100,000, 10,000 minus, so this comes out 4 1s are 4 5s are. So we have 40,000 minus 5. This will come out to be 40,000. 39,995. Okay. Here you can see when Q decreases from 2 to 1, profit is increasing from 4,960 to 9,980. And obviously when Q further goes to 1/4, profit is increasing exponentially here. I will not say exponentially, but it is increasing faster here. So as this Q gets closer and closer to 0, okay, our profit will be maximum, obviously. Now what is tax revenue? Tax revenue is simply a tax rate times quantity transacted. And what quantity we want to transact? As Q approaches to 0, that means tax revenue is 10. This Q approaches to 0. Let us say Q is equal to 0. Okay, that means our tax revenue will be equal to 0. Okay, then the answer should be 0.00. Okay, this will be the tax revenue for the government should be equal to 0, because monopolist will try to maximize his profit, and here only one thing is in his hand, is to decrease his output so as to increase his profit. So as quantity approaches to 0, total revenue, rather tax revenue, it is here. Okay, so let's write it here, tax revenue, TAX, to differentiate it with total revenue. So total revenue will be equal to 0. I hope I make myself clear. Thank you.